October 19th, the 20th, and 21st are the dates for the 9th annual BRIC JazzFest. This acclaimed marathon jazz festival, which is one of BRIC's premier performing arts programs in Brooklyn, will take place across 3 days and 2 stages. The 2023 BRIC JazzFest lineup brings together legends and rising stars from both inside and outside the jazz genre. This year, the festival blends the worlds of jazz and hip hop and celebrates some of your favorite genre-crossing artists when you think about it. And joining us to talk about it is one of the co-curators and producers of the festival. This year's lineup is curated by artist Melanie Charles, along with Bryce Rosenblum, and our guest, BRIC producer Viviana Benitez. Viviana, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having me, Doug.
So
is Doug or Douglas?
No, Doug is fine.
All right.
My mom was the only one who ever called me Douglas.
Gotcha.
So the 9th annual, now I know you've been a part of this for a couple of years now.
That's right.
As you curate this festival and you put these artists together, you really had a sense of the blending, as we talked about, the blending of these different genres and how they all come together, right?
Absolutely. And this, started from choosing and, being able to bring Melanie Charles on board, who I think is sort of the definitive new wave of this in New York City. So it was great to have her be part of the thinking of this year's lineup.
And obviously, many of these artists are connected to Brooklyn in various ways, right. and that makes it special.
Yeah, absolutely. We always have to have that through line, being a Brooklyn-based institution that really wants to elevate Brooklyn voices, and that includes our artists. And Melanie is actually a perfect example of that. She was born and raised in Brooklyn, and is, I was born and raised in New York too, in Queens. So I just feel like she has that special New York sauce that is just, you just can't get anywhere else. So, BRIC has a history of supporting artists along the way throughout their career. And Melanie has been part of BRIC. She was a B-sides host. She performed on B-sides. And just 2 years ago, she debuted a new album at our Celebrate Brooklyn concert in Prospect Park. And so now she's in this amazing capacity. And really, it's just been a pleasure to be alongside her during her career as she blossoms and, does her thing. So, she's a prime example of how BRIC really elevates and celebrates their Brooklyn artist.
And she is one of the main performers of this festival, along with Orrin Evans. I just had a chance to spend the Jazz Train experience with Orrin Evans as we went to the Pittsburgh Jazz Festival on the Jazz Train. Just a wonderful cat and obviously a tremendous musician. So partnering them together is magical.
It is so magical. And honestly, that is one of the shows and performances that I'm really looking forward to during the festival. It's sort of a surprise what they're going to do, but I think both of them are incredible collaborators. I saw Orrin this summer with Bilal up in Marcus Garvey Park, and he just collaborates with incredible artists and just produces just wonderful sounds. And so I think both of them together is what you say is going to be magical.
Before we talk about more of the lineup, let's talk a little bit about you. You've been involved as an arts producer for a long time, back with Lincoln Center and now with BRIC JazzFest. What do you love about producing these festivals?
I would say 2 things I really love. One, I just love working alongside artists. I feel like they're so innovative. They're the ones who really challenge and push, conventional thinking. And I love that challenge and that energy. And I would say I've probably come across 3 divas in my, 10 plus years of doing this. And for the most part, artist energy is just like, it feels good. It feels healing. It feels positive. And so I love to be around that. And the other thing is there's just this instant gratification. You work really hard to produce something and you see the fruits of your labor always. And I don't think you can say that with every job out there. And I really love that. It's very gratifying and satisfying.
I also imagine as these artists get together, some of them know each other, others might not. And so a new camaraderie exists, and thus even more of a synergy between the sounds and the music.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, when artists are part of like festival circuits, they start, bumping into each other along the way and developing connections and friendships. And eventually those turn into, collaborative projects and albums. And I actually was, thinking back, just looking at the lineup this year, and I feel like so many of them are just, if there's like one through line, is that they're all incredible collaborators. And some of them are coming up with their own albums and sounds, but without with the support and innovation of collaboration. And Melanie is also another example of that. But I know you don't want to get into the lineup yet, but like I see that with Be Kool-Aid, right? It's Pink Sifu and Ali coming together. I got to see Pink Sifu in his own project at Afropunk, and he's an incredible artist. And I'm just so, it's just great that they can connect with other people, vibe on something very specific, and then turn that into a show or an album. So that's really like very strong through line throughout this year's lineup.
All the venues, by the way, Brick House is Brooklyn's cultural living room, a 40,000 square foot multidisciplinary arts and media complex where emerging and established artists can create work that deepens their practice and engages the diverse communities of the borough. It's located, by the way, on Fulton Street, 647 right. Fulton Street in Brooklyn. So let's talk about this lineup now. I know that over 3 days you have a number of artists, but who would you like to highlight?
So I'm going to highlight one other Brooklyn night, who I think everyone should check out. It's going to be Friday night with Cisco Swank. He's certainly someone who's up and coming, also a strong collaborator. He recently put out his own solo album, May of this year. And he was just recently nominated for several Grammys for this album. And he's also sort of encompasses that intersection of jazz and hip hop. You can see the influences of Kendrick Lamar, and he's just an incredible instrumentalist. He's multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist, producer, vocalist. So I think, that's Friday night, someone worth checking out who's up and coming and, born and raised here in Brooklyn. And Thursday night we have Terrace Martin, who I think is generating so much buzz, and we have a great turnout for Thursday night, and he's just one of those iconic artists, and also there you go, another great collaborator, the dinner party he does with Robert Glasper and Kamasi Washington. I mean, that's just incredible music, and so really looking forward to having him along with us on opening night. And maybe I'll highlight one artist for Saturday. That's hard. Someone asked me like, which night should I go to? And I'm like, I can't pick one night. They're all so fantastic. Highlights all across each night. I'm excited to see Val Genti and Night Beauty, Candace Hoyes, Mimi Jones collaborate, and they also put out an album recently, and just it's a terrific sound, and there's some experimental sounds there, but it's just all beautiful. So yeah, I mean, Georgia Ann Muldrow, there you go, is another just like genius of like experimenting, collaborating. She'll also be on Friday night, so it's just great artists across the board. We have Amina Myers also on Saturday night, and she's going to be, I don't know if this is news, maybe I shouldn't say it, I don't know if it's been announced, but she's going to be awarded an NEA Jazz Masters Award coming up, and so she has had an incredible career, and she's come in with her trio, and really looking forward to being loved with her sounds and music.
You mentioned Mimi Jones. I had the
yeah.
deep pleasure to chat with her several times about different things, documentaries and people that have influenced her. Quite a wonderful person and tremendous musician. Viviana Benitez is not just about music. She has also spent part of her career on social justice issues and worked in that realm. Tell us a little bit about how that all meshes music and social justice. It does come together, doesn't it?
It always comes together. I think one of the highest forms of anything that exists in our lifetime is music. It's one of the things that can heal and bring people together. And I really got my start in music as a manager, working with a band that's, self-identified as producers and innovators of the immigrant beat. Many of them were born and raised in Colombia and came to New York City. Some of them were undocumented. Some of them were dreamers. And so, we had to do a lot of extra work to have travel happen and be a dream, and just all the sort of life nuances that come into play with that sort of reality. And so, yeah, in terms of work and music, that was really my introduction in pushing forth social justice issues, and really sort of using music as a platform to speak up on specific issues, certainly as they intersected with the personal lives of the artists. But you believe everything is everything, and everything is connected. You start to have a greater voice on larger issues. And for me, I grew up with immigrant parents. My mother was undocumented for many years, and so that is something that is personal to me as well, and I think has really paved my path in terms of awareness and justice for people on a very basic level, on a level of dignity. And yeah, I care very much about social issues, and I think artists have an incredible platform to use their voice. But it's not something that's necessary. And some artists just, they say, I'm not a politician, I just want to play my music. But music is art, and people, and it reflects within society, and people see the reflection in the sounds and the lyrics. So all of it is profoundly connected, whether it's conscious or not.
And thus we can understand the diversity in this lineup for the 2023 BRIC Jazz Fest, curated by BRIC producer Viviana Benitez, along with Melanie Charles and Bryce Rosenblum. There are a few changes in the lineup for various reasons, but India Owens is going to be, Cookout is going to be part of the lineup now. And you also have an extra special panel discussion prior to the BRIC Jazz Fest really kicking off.
That's right. We have an incredible panel discussion where we'll be discussing the intersection of jazz and hip hop with notable speakers like writer and author Marcus Moore. Melanie Charles will be on the panel. BRIC's president Wes Jackson, who is the founder of Hip Hop Brooklyn Festival. And we will also have Tim Aku, another incredible writer, join the panel. So it's going to kick off on Thursday night at 6:15, and it's just going to be a lively discussion, so please come on by for that. We're also going to be opening up our artist studio space, where we are going to be highlighting BRIC TV films on hip hop. As BRIC institutes hip hop within its programming, we want to shed a light on all the incredible work that our media team has done over the years, and there will be an incredible screening and reel over the 3 nights at our studio. So if you need a break from the music, you can slink into our artist studio space and check out some great documentaries on hip hop.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. Congratulations, 9th annual BRIC Jazz Fest, and it keeps on rolling. When it's been around 9 years, it's been a success.
Absolutely. It feels great, and we're just having a lot of fun. So I hope people come out and enjoy themselves.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate you.